For any beginner gardeners out there, you're going to want to use the hedge shears if you want to keep a hedge in order, if you want to keep it maintained. So, it's going to be a boxy hedge more than likely. It might have a little roundness to it, but especially along walkways or off driveways. Hey everybody, Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden.
Good morning, you guys. Happy Saturday, Garden Tool Saturday.
Garden Tool Saturday.
And it's day 159.
Oh my God, it's been that long.
I know.
Wow. And this is our daily video log of us accomplishing different projects in our garden while we're still under quarantine.
And we're thankful you're here today, you guys. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, you guys, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down below there so you don't miss out on all the daily videos we post and our other garden care videos.
So guys, today, Garden Tool Saturday, we're gonna show you our hedge shears and what they're good for. We're gonna go over how to use them and how we use them in our garden.
And if you guys happen to catch the landscape renovation that we filmed last week, there were 4 straight days we got hired by clients to come in and completely renovate their landscape. We use those hedge shears so much that they're actually dull again.
And guys, you can check out how we actually sharpened or started to sharpen those hedge shears and a couple other hand tools like loppers and hand shears in a separate video we did previously. And we'll have the links for that video and the renovation videos that Allison mentioned down below in the description.
Your hedge shears are probably a tool that you're going to need to have handy this fall.
Certain plants like to be hedged, react well to being hedged, and you might want to put different shapes and different lines around your garden, and hedge shears are a really good way to do that.
We love our Corona hedge shears, by the way, little plug there, so we're going to show you right now what we're talking about. Okay. All right, Sean, what do you have there?
So guys, what I have here is our Corona manual hedge shears, and you saw us in our previous video that I mentioned earlier in the intro that we actually sharpen these, and so here are the hedge shears, and they're hand operated. You got 2 handles that you open it, and it opens these blades, and then when you close it, it closes the blades and makes a scissor cutting action. And so these are 2 very long blades. They've actually both got an edge on one side and it's flat on the underside. If you can see that one edge there, it's got the edge on the one side, and then if you turn it over, it's very flat on the other side. It's just completely flat, and this is the same way, the opposite blade. Now, some hedge shears have just solid cutting edges on them. This one doesn't. It's got a notch in here, and it is sharp. There's a sharpness to that edge. Is you can get that diameter or smaller of a branch, of a stem, get it in there, and when you make this motion to close the blades, it actually will cut that large of a stem. So something to keep in mind.
That's cool, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep, that little notch helps you do that. And you could probably find some other uses for it too if you need be in here in a pinch and you're doing something with like hose or some type of other material that you need to cut, and this is the only thing handy, you don't have a knife or hand pruners, use this, cut it, good stuff. Hedge shears are great for shaping your plants. This is their main function. And so you can make different shapes of plants, you can make boxes, triangles, circles, and it takes some practice. For any beginner gardeners out there, you're gonna wanna use the hedge shears if you wanna keep a hedge in order, if you want to keep it maintained. So, it's going to be a boxy hedge more than likely. It might have a little roundness to it, but especially along walkways or off driveways or anywhere where there's an actual hedge and it's got this straight line to it, it's got this flat side to it, these are great to do that with. So we're going to show you how to use these in a minute to accomplish just that straight line on a hedge per se. But so what you want to do too is think about, before you actually use these on any plant, you want to think about the plant and how it's going to react to being hedged. This comes back to a plant having very short internodes or very compact type of growth. And when you cut it using hedge shears, you're going to want it to react in a way where it's going to have that flusher growth and be able to grow back from where you cut it. So guys, examples of plants that react well to hedging are boxwoods, laurels, some junipers, cotoneasters, and some other plants out there, but it comes down to how you want the plant to look and how the plant actually reacts when hedged. And so we'll give you some examples here coming up. And guys, we wanted to mention, you might have seen us use these to shape pampas grass down also at our clients, another client's house. And so these are good for that too. Some grasses, this can be used too, but make sure you understand where to make the cuts, along with any plants, right? Make sure to understand where you make those cuts and how the plant will react and what's going to be healthy for the plant. I wanted to plug that because we want to make sure that you don't have the wrong information on when using these and when not to use these. We wanted to show you using the hedge shears on our English laurel plant here. This plant is actually more of an upright grower, but because of years past we've had a lot of snow, the weight of the snow actually broke the stem further back, it actually is growing in more of a sweeping out motion. So guys, in our climate, this plant, this English laurel, will get to about 25 to 30 feet tall, but we're in zone 8B. So depending on where you live, it'll depend to how big this plant actually gets. So we're in the Pacific Northwest, if you didn't know. So with all that, let's get into hedging our laurel plant and give you an example of what you need to do. So guys, before we get started, make sure you're aware of who's around you. Make sure you know where that pointy end is, because you don't want to stab anybody or yourself. Okay, so business end is in front of us. So when you're looking at a plant, you want to look at what line you want. You want to know what shape you want before you get into it. So for this example, we're going to show how to prune this laurel to just bring it back to a certain point, to give it a certain shape, to start that shape. So here we go. So just doing this, I'm going straight up here, and I'm gonna curve it a little bit. Oh, here guys, here's a great example of using our notch to cut this larger stem. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that in there. See, I put the stem right in that notch, and watch this. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, woohoo. Okay, enough of that. Okay, guys, so here's another larger stem than we just did before. So I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna see how this does inside there. Oh. Okay, well that did it. That was a little bit larger than we want to use for this, FYI. So as you go through and keep using these, you'll get a better sense of what your hedge shears are actually good for and where they work and where they don't. So it's going to be a learning curve, so it's all good. We all got to start somewhere. So as you can see, we just made this curved and we've got our line here. So in the future, what's going to happen is from these cuts, below these cuts, this is where the plant is going to grow. We're telling the plant basically in pruning terms, don't grow here because we cut you off there. We want you to grow here. Don't grow up this way, grow out this way. Come out with your growth this way. That's what we're basically telling the plant when we prune any plant. So guys, we wanted to use our English laurel plant here as an example of how to use hedge shears, and that it is a good example of hedging. It's a good example of a plant that likes to be hedged. Now, saying all that, we don't want this hedged in this location in our yard. What we're gonna do so far as our plan is to prune this all the way back and retrain this plant to grow up more instead of a sweeping out motion. We haven't gotten to it yet because, you know, we're busy just like you. And so, but that's our major plan, is to prune this back and retrain it to grow more up than out.
So like Sean just mentioned about the laurel, we're gonna retrain it. We'll probably show that on a future QG video if you guys want us to. Maybe let us know in the comments down below if you'd like to see how we're gonna do that, and we'll show that as a video.
So guys, leave your comments and questions down below for us. We love hearing from you guys. Give us that thumbs up, let us know we're doing a good job, and subscribe to our channel so you get updates on our latest videos.
Yeah, that's a wrap for today for our Garden Tool Saturday. So we'd love to see you back here tomorrow. We've got a really fun Science Sunday coming up. Come on back and see what we're up to.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.